Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is leaving Ottawa today on a 6-day trip that will take him to Indonesia, Singapore, and New Delhi, India for the G20 summit. Trade will be a key focus of many of the PM's meetings with Asian leaders. Trudeau's first stop will be in Jakarta, where he will meet with Indonesia's president and attend the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. That is a coalition of 10 countries that, as a group, represent Canada's fourth largest merchandise trading partner. And for more on this, joining me now is Tom Mulcair, CTV News political commentator and former NDP leader. Good to have you with us, Tom.
Good to be with you, Renee.
Now, Tom, what can we expect for Trudeau's upcoming visit to these three South Asian nations?
Well, Justin Trudeau is playing to his strength. He's had a tough summer here at home. All of these issues involving affordability and housing and things like that have been very tough for the Liberals. This is the part of his job that he loves, and he's great at it. I mean, he's been in power for 8 years now. That makes him a rather senior player in the G20 when he sits down with all of those other leaders in India. He's going to be adding Singapore and Indonesia to the trip, as you just mentioned. The Association of Southeast Asian Countries is going to have a specific trade deal with Canada, and we're looking for individual deals with India and Indonesia. It's important for us because, like a lot of other countries, we've become highly dependent on China. And we know that it's been a bit of a rocky road, that relationship with China recently. So Trudeau's, of course, going to try to do that. But overall, he's going to be projecting an image of, I'm a world leader, and this is the branding that he's trying to bring back to Canada. They're even tagging on the notion of affordability. They say, well, he wants these trade deals to improve affordability in Canada. That's a bit of a stretch. No trade deal that's being looked at right now is going to have any immediate or even medium-term effect. But longer term, yes, setting up a stronger economy with more trade deals can help. So that's the type of issue that he's going to be looking at and trying, of course, to project better things back home, because it has been indeed a very rough summer for the Liberals.
How much of Canada's economy is reliant on trade from Indonesia, Singapore, and India?
Well, as you mentioned, that type of trade represents our fourth largest trading bloc, and we want to increase it. And China is putting down so many markers in the region, making a lot of those countries dependent on China. I had a chance to be on an official visit, for example, to Sri Lanka, and there was a large port installation that had been put in place there. And of course, the Chinese were making them pay for it. And in return for part of it, they were going to have a place to put some of their ships, which could eventually include, of course, military ships, the Navy. So this is the type of spreading out of Chinese power across that whole region that has to be met with an intelligent, well thought out plan to show alternatives. I'll give you a specific example. The G20, for example, has been very hesitant to talk against Russia and its invasion, totally illegal invasion of Ukraine. They're always trying to make sure they don't put all of their eggs in one basket. They see the Americans as the important power that it is. They like trading and working with the Americans. They know that China is incredibly important for them, and they know that China is close to Russia. So they're always trying to spread things out. Canada's going to come in. Trudeau's going to try to push hard for a statement with regard to Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine. And of course, the war crimes that have been committed there. I don't think he's going to get it. Because again, big countries, it's the most populous country in the world right now. Big countries like India are going to hold back. They're always going to try to make sure that they can play a little bit one against the other.
All right, we will have to leave it there. We're out of time. But Tom Mulcair, CTV News political commentator and former NDP leader, we thank you very much for your time today.
All the best, Renee.